So my friend's words highlight the importance of education and culture as part of the progress of a rebirth of a country, right? And also revolution. But the way I see it, the two energies that are the foundation of a revolution are outrage and empathy. So at certain points in history, especially when a shocking event occurs like the explosions in Beirut, the death of George Floyd too, or 9/11 and so on, the reaction they solicit are outrage and empathy. The way I see it, the former, outrage, is the more impulsive one. It's more easily understood, and that's why it instantly attracts more people. That's also why social media, and arguably the internet at large, are the best vehicles for outrage. Because they too are fast-paced and offer the promise of instant gratification. But because outrage is such an impulsive reaction and so strong, it tends to manifest itself as violence or through violent acts. Now, I would be naive to think that violence has no place in revolution, and that's true. Also, violence manifests itself in various ways, not only via physical violence, but through the destruction of cultural heritage, spiteful words, and in ways that are a bit more concealed and don't stand out as easily. The other force, though, is empathy. It's a little harder to generate and can easily be overcome by outrage, but in the end, empathy is the more long-lasting of the two forces. But two of the conditions that empathy requires are time and distance, which is why art is the perfect vehicle for empathy. Art is just not as immediate and can take time to both find and evaluate. And it also has the capacity to linger in your mind for far longer than the fast-paced world of social media. But also because, to be sure, art, like Nina Simone famously said, should reflect the times, and because art has that capacity to reveal truths that are timeless and universal. Some of these truths are really plain to see, but at the same time, to be aware of them is incredibly difficult. That's because these are truths that are also a part of us. To become aware of them requires a certain distance or even detachment. It also requires us to be in a passive position as we're confronted with such truths. Art provides just that distance and confrontation. In a strange twist, it is impossible to know just what artwork will lead to such a powerful awakening. The best way to achieve this awakening is by experiencing as much art as we can and of as many kinds as we can all the time. And you don't need to be intellectually aware of the different art movements, just that art is varied and different, and all of these varied and different styles, movements, and forms represent different viewpoints. But no matter how different they are, there is always a timeless and universal truth within them that is also within us. In a nutshell, that's why I think that art is so important. That's also why I think that I don't have to agree with an artwork that I ideologically oppose to deem it good, because that artwork too has a concealed, universal, and timeless truth that will help me understand myself and the world around me. Understanding that timeless and universal truth, that's what empathy is all about. And it's hard, but I really believe in my heart that that's the revolution I want to be a part of. Are you with me?